Good day, students. Welcome to Mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be taking a look at operations with polynomials, focusing specifically on the distributive property. All right, so the question reads, which expression is not equivalent to negative 4x to the third plus x squared minus 6x plus 8? All right, so to get us started, we're going to talk a little bit about what it means for two expressions to be equivalent. All right, so let's refresh our memories real quick on what it means for expressions to be equivalent. So recall, equivalent means, or equivalent expressions basically means that the expressions are identical. Okay, so it means identical expressions when written in the same form. Okay, when written in the same form. So it could be expanded form or simplified form. All right, so if you take a look at this polynomial expression we have up here, all right, this is basically the standard form for this expression. It's completely expanded and is written in descending order of degree. Third degree, second degree, first degree, and then 0th degree of the constant. If you take a look at options 1, 2, 3, and 4, those are various ways that you can express a polynomial, all right, a cubic with 4 terms in a factored state. Different ways you can factor it. So the quickest way to solve this problem will be to convert all these factored forms into the expanded or standard form and then compare it to this original expression to see if they are identical. All right, so remember, to determine if expressions are equivalent, you have to convert them to the same form, either factored or expanded. All right, or standard. So what we're just going to do is make everything standard, so we're having the same standard for comparison, and then it'll be easy for us to select the one that is not equivalent. All right, so we have 4 options here. It basically tells us that out of the 4, 3 are going to be equivalent and 1 will not be. All right, so let's start with option number 1. So for option 1, we have x squared times the quantity negative 4x plus 1 minus 2 times 3x minus 4. So we're going to expand this completely, write it in standard form, and see if it matches with this cubic polynomial expression with 4 terms. All right, so let's go ahead and distribute. So we're going to have this x squared distributed to these 2 terms. And then negative 2, don't forget that sign there so you don't make a mistake. You distribute it to 3x and a negative 4. All right, so let's carry out the distribution. In the first group, we're going to have negative 4. And then you use the property of exponents, product property. So this is x to the 1, you add the powers, right? So it's going to be x to the third, and then plus 1x squared. Just write it as x squared. Now the second group, negative 2 times 3x is going to be negative minus 6x, and negative 2 times negative 4 plus 8. Okay, so what we're going to do is compare this resulting polynomial expression with the original polynomial expression and see if they're the same. So negative 4x plus x squared minus 6x plus 8, they're identical, so they are equivalent. Check. Okay, all right, let's move along to the second polynomial expression. It's factored using another system. So we're going to write this polynomial in its expanded state, in standard form, all right, and then compare. So what we're going to do now in this particular situation is this x will be distributed to all the terms in the parentheses that's adjacent to it. All right, so there is an invisible multiplication sign here that's implied. So you have these 3 terms that x will be distributed to. Let's go ahead and distribute. You are going to now have, remember, x has a first power, x times negative 4x squared is going to be negative 4x to the third. You add the powers, right? X times negative x, there's a 1 here. So x times negative x would be negative x squared. You add the powers. 1 plus 1 is 2. Whenever you multiply exponents with the same base, you add the powers, all right? And then x times 6, positive 6x plus 8. All right, so now we're going to compare these two polynomials, the original and this expanded one, written in standard form, and see if they're identical, all right? So we have negative 4x squared, good. This one right here is minus x squared, and this is positive x squared. And even if you take a look at the linear term, this is positive 6x here, and this guy right here is negative 6x. So they're not identical, so they're not equivalent. All right, so these two, so let's put that out, not equivalent. All right, so we know what the answer is, but let's go over 3 and 4 just to make sure that we didn't make any mistakes. All right, so number 3 and 4, options 3 and 4 should be equivalent, right? So we have negative 4x to the third plus x minus 2. It looks like the last 3 terms were grouped together and factored. Let's see if upon expansion of this and writing it in standard form, we get the original, okay? So we have two binomials, linear binomials multiplied by each other. So we're just going to FOIL it out first. Outer, inner, last. Simplify that. And then attach this negative 4x to the third. Okay, so bring down the negative 4x to the third plus x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. All right, so this is the result of expanding. Now we're going to simplify by combining like terms, namely the linear term, negative 4x and negative 2x, okay? So we're going to have negative 4x to the third plus x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now let's compare. Negative 4x to the third plus x squared minus 6x plus 8. They're identical. Check. Equivalent. All right. One more. Number 4. So if we expand this completely and write it in standard form, are we going to end up with the original expression? Well, let's see. So there are two distributions that are going to be happening here. So negative 4 gets distributed to x to the third and negative 2. Please do not forget the sign. And then x gets distributed to both x and negative 6. All right, let's distribute. Negative 4 times x to the third is going to be negative 4x to the third. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Plus, we have x squared, x times x, and then minus 6x. Okay, so this is fully expanded. Like, there are no like terms to be combined. So we're now going to rewrite this in standard form, basically in descending order of degrees. The highest degree term comes first, and then descending down to the lowest. Alrighty. So this is 3, 0, 2, 1. So the first one is the cubic term, negative 4x to the third, followed by the quadratic term, plus x squared. And then the linear term, negative 6x, and the constant term, plus 8. All right, let's compare and see if it's the same as this. Negative 4x squared plus x squared minus 6x plus 8. Perfect, exactly the same. So we see that 1, 3, and 4 are equivalent because in written in standard form, they match perfectly with this cubic polynomial with 4 terms. On the other hand, number 2, when expanded and written in standard form, it's not exactly the same, so it's not equivalent. So you can clearly see that the answer to this question is option number 2. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to support our channel. Tons of support resources for your math course can be found on mathgotserved.com. Do check it out. If you have any questions about what we just went over, specify in the comment section below, and we'll be more than glad to assist you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.